to IAC-TV, Independent Artists Connect TV. I am your host, Leticia Dorsey McGaha, and we are here with the illustrious Teri Tobin. How are you this evening?
Hey, good. Good to chat with you again.
Good, good, good. So it is Independent Artists Month.
It is.
It is. Happy I am.
Happy I am. It
Uh,
came fast to me. I feel like we were just in this mode, but a year came by really, really
a
fast.
year came back by, and here we are. And I
Yes, ma'am.
am back in the studio. I have taken a break, and now I'm back, and I am so excited to have this first interview with you for the month. And let's get into it.
Okay.
All right. So, can you tell our listening audience and our viewing audience how did your journey as an independent artist begin?
Well, really it began, I didn't set out to do that. Let's start there. Like everybody who followed a lot of the artists that we followed growing up, I saw myself, as being in the same vein as like a Tony Braxton or, the Whitney Houstons, the people that I followed growing up. And so, all the work that I put in, whether it was demo singing, background singing, all of that, um, eventually put me in the place to get a deal with a label that was a subsidiary. Um, I want to say it was a subsidiary of Universal. Excuse me, Universal. And goodness, let me start over. So I had a deal. I was 17 years old. I had a deal
Wow.
with a label. It was a subsidiary, I believe, of Universal Records. It was called JMJ Records. It was owned by the late great Jam Master Jay. And so finally getting a deal, I was excited. All of the things. But then when nothing really happened, nothing came out of it. I was actually in a group at the time, and nothing came out of it. And I just kept plugging. I kept grinding. And but even some years later, I did attempt to try to get a deal again. Part of the challenge I was having though is that I had signed my life away on that first deal,
Oh,
so I had
wow.
to work my way through that. And then once I finally got an attorney to get me out of that, the hustle began. I've been doing the independent thing for so long without even knowing that it was called independent, if you know what I mean. And so that's when I created my company, Sold to Keep Entertainment, because there was so many things that I either endured or saw that I realized I didn't want to have to sell my soul in order to do the things that I wanted to do. So the name of my company is Sold to Keep Entertainment.
Oh.
So that's kind
Hmm.
of how my journey started though. I knew that I didn't want to give up. I knew that I wanted to keep going. And so that's how it started.
Okay, that was information packed. So you just you just went you just understood at that point that there was really no need to get a major label deal then.
Well, let me be honest about it though. It wasn't so much that I didn't want it. I felt like the industry didn't want me. Let's just be transparent about that.
Hmm.
My interactions with people that I encountered, either if they were former manager, somebody else that said they were going to get try to walk me in. For the most part, people were not looking at me as, and I think we talked about this previously, they weren't looking at me as the type or as the
Hmm.
look that they wanted,
Hmm.
or the hue. My chocolate was a little too much for them, right then. A lot of things like that occurred, and I was told that I just didn't have the look. And then especially when I was younger, I had this warm, they called it dark sound, and what we know now is sultry, right?
Sultry, yes.
But back then, I was still young. I was, 18, 19, and they were like, well, how do we sell her? They wanted me to be bubblegum. So it was very challenging to find the place for me. But that just told me that there wasn't a place for me in that space. And I'm okay with that now
Hmm.
because I've been able to, focus in on what it is that's important to me as opposed to kind of being what they wanted me to be, that cookie cutter kind of thing.
Well, independent artist is like it's a buzzword now. And
Yes.
what do you think that people misunderstand about being an independent artist?
I think I think the what's the word I'm looking for? The stigma, if you will, initially was like independent meant that you were down here.
Mm.
And that doesn't mean that. The quality is there. The
Mm-hmm.
heart is there. The again, the quality is there. But I
Absolutely.
think
Mm-hmm.
that particularly people that have been in the space of having had a deal or worked with labels, they tend to look at independent as a negative thing. I will say the difference, of course, is as an independent, we are the ones that's funding everything. So it may not look like what everybody else is doing because they have the glossy budgets, right?
Right.
But from the standpoint of, what we're putting out in the marketplace, the heart, the hustle, I think we have to work harder. And it's not to take away from anything from what another artist does who has the machine. But when you yourself are the machine, you're having to wear multiple hats, where those that don't have that have a deal, maybe they don't know about some of the things that we as an independent artist have to do. So
Mm.
I think that, but I also think that what I would like for them to walk away with is to kind of tap into maybe what our journey might be, because it is a hustle. It's a lot of work that goes into putting these records out. And I don't know that people are really tapped into that.
Yeah. So if you were going to start your career today,
Okay.
instead of back then, and everything that you know now, what would you do differently?
Like, for instance, if I was approached with that same deal that I signed back then, yeah, I wouldn't have signed it, of course. But I will say, so people ask me, what advice I would give to somebody who's like getting into the business. Know what you're signing, first of all. But also, I think what I would do differently from that standpoint back then, if I had a deal and I was approaching it, I definitely would, read the fine print, know what the fine print means. Even though I did have an attorney, I was still reliant solely on that attorney to interpret what was in the fine print. And so, of course, that was something I would do differently. But approaching, even looking at this, I put my first record out in 2011. There's things that I would do differently, knowing what I know now, from then. And some of that is just the importance of YouTube and building the social media earlier on. I think that's how a lot of us just want to create the music. We don't want to have to be a content creator and all of that. But that's the nature of the beast now. And I think that had I embraced it sooner, it wouldn't be, I feel like maybe it wouldn't be such a barrier or such a chore to do it now, because now I'm like, I don't feel like doing all that. But the truth of the matter is, people want the difference between now and back in the day when we were listening to the artists that I mentioned is we didn't know a whole lot about their personal lives. We
Right.
knew what was in the news. We knew, that type of thing, but we didn't know what they ate for breakfast. We didn't know, all those types of things. And now,
That's right.
because of social media, everybody wants to know that. And so I'm not saying that I'm going to be sharing what I eat for breakfast, but I do believe that there's a component of this that we have to kind of embrace,
Right.
this
In
new
this day.
model, if you
Hmm.
will. Hmm.
Yeah. So with a career that spans from, you said 2011.
Well, the independent career started then, but
Okay.
I've been doing this since I was a little girl. Like
Okay.
literally my first deal, my first check, let's say, was when I was 11. So yeah, I've been doing this a long time, but as
A
far as the
long
independent
time.
journey, it did start in 2011.
So you have had to come across many, many people. What would you
Yes.
say your greatest collaboration has been in on this journey?
Oh wow. Greatest collaboration. That's really tough because I look at all the collaborations that I do as a blessing. And especially because there was a time when I couldn't buy a collaboration. I mean, just calling it what it
Wow.
is. People, I'm not going to name anybody, but there have been people that I've known for years, trying to get people like, hey, let's do something together. people people leaving me on red and all of that. So anybody that anybody that takes the time to engage, and we're trying to just build something, and we have a like mind about the journey, about the music and all of that, then I would say that is definitely, all my collaborations are dope. But with having said that, I will say that the experience I had with Myron creating the Christmas project that we did last year, I mean, it was a hustle. It was a struggle to do it. I had a lot going on in my personal life, with my family. He was very patient, but also if you know Myron, musically he's just on it, and just such a beautiful outcome for the EP, and it basically was beyond whatever I would have even imagined. I know we talked about it, but to actually hear it and to actually love it as much as I do, that was amazing to me. So yeah, definitely that was the first collaboration he and I did, I think. And so yeah, I would definitely say that one.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so today, what would you say your greatest project that you would be the most proud of? What
Oh,
would that be?
um, well, I will say that my Forever album has a special place in my heart, because all the things that I went through that nobody knew that I was going through, and I
Wow.
still got that thing out. I said it before and I'll say it again. Anything that I put out, I feel like I've already won. It's already a success, because I actually am able to get it out to the marketplace. And given what happens in my household, given what has been going on in my health, given all the things
All the
that
things.
we
Hmm.
all deal with, and to still be able to put out a quality project, that songs that mean something to me, and from the feedback that I've gotten, it means something to other people, either because it resonates with them or whatever. To me, that would definitely be it. But I feel like any record that I put out is going to be my new favorite. So the new one that's coming out is definitely going to be my new favorite too.
Yeah, that Forever had it had some really great song, not good, great songs on that.
Oh, thank you.
So, as a seasoned artist, because you are a seasoned artist, what
Yes, ma'am.
challenges come with growing older in the music industry? And what experiences have and strengths have that given you? Have you, I'm tongue tied. What have the strengths? And you kind of hit on it a few minutes ago, like you being able to persevere and regardless of what was going on, pushing through. But what are some other things?
Um, Gosh, when you first said you're a seasoned artist, and I was like, you got a week for me to explain the stuff that's that's going on over here, because being a woman of a certain age, it has its own, sets. We talked about it offline. It has its own situations, right?
Yes.
But honestly, I'm gonna be very honest in this particular space, because it just dawned on me. I think the thing that is most important to me at this point, at this stage in my career, is that I don't really care. I'm not as focused on if you like me or not, or if you like
Yes.
my music. I obviously I want the people that it's for,
Right.
whoever it's for is who it's for, right?
Right.
And I think the people that do resonate with it, and sometimes they find it late, they don't find it right when I put it out or whatever, but I get the DMs, I get messages from people that say, oh man, I just found you, man, I wish I had heard you, da 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 da. And I feel like the older that I'm getting, the more I'm just focused on the music. I'm focused on what feels good to me, what feels I've always chosen music based on what felt good to me. That's always been my test, right? But I feel like the older that I get, the less likely I'm not comparing myself to anybody else that's out there. I know that God gave me a gift, and I use it the way that I see fit, right? And so I'm not as focused on, if these folks like me. I don't mean to say it like that, but
Oh, I
but
hear
but for
you.
real, I'm just I think that comes with age. There's some other words that I could say that I won't say in this interview, but the older you get, the more you're like, you know. So I hope that answered the question.
No, no, that did. All right. Before we go, we end every conversation with the same question. What does the heart of Teri Tobin have to say to the culture today?
I would say that it's kind of tricky. I would say that I guess what my heart says is my goal has always been to spread love. I live on the motto now of spreading love one love song at a time. So if you never heard me speak again, you never knew my birthday was on Valentine's Day, you never knew any of those things, you
Oh,
just know that the music that I put out was solely to spread love. I would hope that that is what people feel, when they listen to my music.
indeed, indeed. All right, we will take a short break, and when we come back, we will listen to some music from Teri Tobin. All right, we're back, and we have an exclusive. Teri, you have a project coming up,
I
correct?
do. I do. I do. So the next project is called Forevermore. So that's the entirety of the whole project. I'm still very old school when it comes to releasing these things as a family, if you will, instead of just singles. I was having a conversation with a really good friend of mine, and one of the things that he pointed out is everybody's legacy is not necessarily remembered by that one single they had, unless they were a one hit wonder or whatever.
Hmm.
And so without even knowing that, my mind was like, I always want to kind of share it in its entirety. But as we ramp up to that, I'm releasing a dual release, which is two songs, two of which were produced by two people in our I Am group. And so I'm super excited about that. That's coming out in November. November. It's coming out July 24th. And yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, for our first exclusive listen,
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
gonna go with "Vibe with You,"
Yes,
and it
ma'am.
is
Yes.
a treat. So let's get to it.
Yes, ma'am.
The feeling I get every time you call me yours, baby. Every time you come around, I get so weak. You can have it all. It's whatever you like. 'Cause I wanna vibe with you, ride with you, match your breath tonight, baby, 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 baby. Wanna vibe with you, ride with you,
the smoke that's coming off of that song.
Yeah, that's for the grown folks.
It
That's
is.
that's for
My
the grown folks.
my friend is in the background. She is like, you sound like she's eating some good food. She's like back there. I,
Oh my God. Well, that's the
breathe.
reaction that we want. And
Yes.
anytime you again, going back to collaborations, I collaborated with this on this one with Myron, and it was just one of those things, like we were just in the zone. We were in the
It,
zone one night, and even though we don't live in the same city, we were able to come together in this beautiful, beautiful collaboration that's just for the grown folks.
it,
And I will say, as a woman, as a mother, as again all the hats that I wear, it was nice to be able to tap back into that sexy. You know what I mean? Because I think
yes.
sometimes as women we forget,
Yes.
or maybe don't have opportunity sometimes to get into that. And so yeah,
Yes.
I
Oh, you
was I
got it.
was I was
You
right
got
there.
into it. You
I
got
was right
into it.
there for sure.
Breathe you in for life.
Yes,
Breathe you
ma'am.
in for life.
Yes, ma'am.
And I was also feeling some Prince in there. There was a part in there that was giving Prince for me. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
oh
Whew.
man, what's the
Sometimes
release date for that again?
that's July 24th. July 24th.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
definitely, that was going straight to the bedroom. That's
Listen, I always say I set the mood. Whatever you do with it is your business.
yeah,
And I just don't want to be held accountable for what happens after that.
yes,
Y'all consenting, do what you do. Like that's what I enjoy bringing that element of the mood into the space. Because the other thing I think we talked about before is I think sometimes we're not getting it. We're not talking about the we're talking about getting to the good stuff without like building it, and the
right,
power in building that thing. You know what I
right.
mean? I won't I won't go too far in that, but I'm just saying that there's a benefit to building it as opposed to just going straight to it. So
I want to before we hear just some snippets of the other song. I have what is your what is the best comparison like when people say you remind me of or you sound like what's your favorite?
honestly, I haven't heard in a while. I haven't been compared, at least to my face anyway, in
Okay.
a while. I do have like a pet peeve about it, and I'll say about that in a second. But early on, people compared me to Jill Scott, and
Hmm.
I view that as a huge compliment.
Mm-hmm.
My hope is that in the comparison, they're not saying, because people say, "Oh, you're the next." No, like while
Mm-mm.
she hadn't put any music out or whatever, that was something that was coming up. But I say Jill Scott, but only because I love her, and we're in that space. We both are voluptuous women, and we're lovable, and we're putting out this music, again for the
Sexy,
folks to
strong,
enjoy.
and sexy.
Yes,
Yeah, I don't
ma'am.
know for whatever reasons, the Mickey Howards and the Phyllis Hymans and
Mm,
those
mm.
musical greats, it's given that for me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it. That was an era of music that, I wish this generation had
Mm.
the opportunity to experience it in real time. You know what I mean?
Well, they
It's
do.
good that they have the ability to come back and listen, but I mean, like when Phyllis was among us,
Right. Yeah.
um, that was a time that it's just not like it is now. But yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, let's get into just we don't want to give the audience everything, so let's just get a little
Yes.
snippet of our next song, Inside Out, I believe.
Yes. So this is the Inside Out remix,
Okay, Inside Out remix,
produced by Corey
I
Hodge of
can
Rock
feel your
Mass
heart
Entertainment.
Detroit.
Yep.
inside me. When we're this close, when we become one, chemistry beyond words, stimulate me mentally, blows my mind, can't deeper than it. Love me from the inside out, inside out. Deeper, deeper, baby. Can't get much deeper than this. Love me from the inside out. Love me from the inside out. Yeah, we are so sweet. It's incredible. Every time. Your intellect is so sexy. Make me climb the walls with the sound of your voice. Make me fall in love from the inside. Can't get much deeper than this. Love me from the inside out, inside out.
All right, that one right there. If there are any DJs, when this comes on,
Yes.
this needs to get into the hands of the
Yes, that's for the
DJs.
club for
That
sure.
is the club
Absolutely.
remix. I love that.
Yes,
You
thank
want to
you.
give us a little history about that song?
So on the album, there's the original version of Inside Out is very sexy. It's very suggestive. And we just wanted to add a little element. Corey Corey came to me with this new track, and I don't even think he knew that it was going to be this remix. He just always sends me tracks and I just go with it, I sometimes almost immediately. And it just so happened that when I was listening to it, I was like, man, this might be kind of nice to like flip Inside Out. So that's what we did, and I love it. It's different. I've only had like a couple of house records, like house remixes, and this is kind of almost in that vein. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, hey, let's do it.
I love that. I love that. We get that
Thank you.
in the club. I can hear it. So we're gonna go
Yes,
to
ma'am.
our last snippet. Do you want to give us the champagne and roses?
Yes, ma'am. So, like I said, I just set the mood. This song is called Champagne and Roses. It's produced by David P. Stevens. It was another song that we had in the can when I was releasing Forever, but I had so many other songs and I'm like, I don't know if that one fits and all of the things, but on this one, when it's the love songs, of course, this song has to come out to the marketplace. And it's self-explanatory, but then it's kind of not. So I'll just let people use their own imagination as to what type of roses we're talking about.
Oh,
And that's that.
okay. Let's get to it. Let's get into it.
Got me feeling away. I'm excited. Been thinking all day about it. Satisfaction is the mission. You don't need permission. The only ambition is to get you high. It's a champagne and roses kind of night. Just relax and let it get you right. How do I get you so high? Yeah. You keep my secrets and I love it. I can be uninhibited and free. I don't wanna quit this habit. No amount of rehab can make me stop. I want what I want when I want it. Once I get it started, I won't hold back. It's a champagne and roses kind of champagne and roses. Just relax, let it get you right.
Butter. Butter, baby. That is butter.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You know,
And I want
and
to give this disclaimer that, as a writer, I don't always write from personal experiences.
right.
And sometimes I'm inspired by other people. And that song actually was inspired by listening to a celebrity's interview. And yeah, so I'll leave it at that. I won't put her business out there. But she was talking about, her her love life at the time. And I was like, huh, you don't say.
Listen,
So yeah.
baby, it's the maturity in me, but all the lines I've read between, so I love it. I absolutely love it because I didn't
Yes,
even think
ma'am.
about. I didn't even, you know,
And
yeah,
most people won't, but it's
right,
okay. You know what I mean? Because the thing about music and the thing about art is people
yes,
can attach whatever association they'd like to. And I'm hoping that that's the case because, I would love it if somebody's coming home to champagne and roses. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It could be that champagne and roses kind of night.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. But
Nothing
for
wrong
those
with
that
that.
have a different story,
Right.
there's a song for you too.
All right. Well, is there any last thing that you would like to leave with our audience on this evening?
Just that, particularly to my soul siblings, we are here, we are strong, we got to keep moving. Don't allow some of these things that do happen to take you off your game. And, we got to keep pushing. We are here. I remember Selena Johnson's manager slash sister used to say, indie is the new major. We've always been major, right?
Mm,
Even though we're independent. So
hmm.
to coin a phrase that to repeat a phrase that she coined, I absolutely mean that and I absolutely love it. And I'm honored to be here, honored to have shared this new music with y'all. And yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Well, you have been watching and listening to IAC Independent Artists Connect TV. I've been your host, Leticia Dorsey McGaha. We want to thank you, Teri, for coming with us. To all the independent artists out there, we support you. We're rooting for you, and connect with us. We're online. We're on all the major platforms. Buy the music, listen to the artists, and just connect. All right. Have a good night.